There was no train station. There was no downtown. South Tower had disappeared. All my favorite places. My city had been pulled down, reduced to walking spaces. Hey, oh, where to go?
All right. Hello. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good morning. And good night to everybody out there. It's Thursday, January 8th, 2026. And just like he said, maybe in the new year I'll be back. Mr. E is back. And welcome, Mr. E. Hello.
Hey.
Now, do you know why I played that song? And you know the song, of course. We're the same age.
Yeah. Pretenders. I mean, I could relate, even though it's a different state.
Yeah.
Going back home and not recognizing it. Thinking you're in Somalia when really you're in your hometown. That is what happened to me last time. That's what happened to me last time I went home, actually. I didn't actually go home over the holidays this year. That was satire, my last video. But
oh, I thought that was for realsies.
That was satire.
Oh, you fooled me. You got me. You got me.
Well, there's I think in the genre of satire, there's certain rules, which I don't really know what they are, but I thought maybe I exaggerated a few things just to try to give people the hint that this didn't actually happen. Although it is based on the last time I went home.
Okay, I'm dense. I missed it totally. I was just glad you made a video. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
and then of course
you
Minnesota.
did go back at some time? You did go back last year?
No.
Oh.
The last time I was there was 10 years ago.
Oh, that's what I thought you told us in the past. You haven't been back in 10 years. Wow.
Which might be even longer now as time goes on, but it's been a while. Well, it's just so far and the jet lag and all that stuff, and
you're not getting any younger.
Every time I go back, I tell myself I'm never coming back again. And then of course I'll go back again. And I went back for Christmas like 20 years ago, right? Which was pretty rare. And I was living in the US anyway, but I went back for Christmas. I get there. The first thing they say is my brother says, "Oh, I'm getting divorced, but don't tell the kids."
All right.
So we have a good Christmas, so just pretend everything's okay. It was it was like, okay, great. I'm coming back home for Christmas, to try to have a family Christmas and just pretend everything's okay.
So you wanted you to lie.
Anyway, so I haven't been back for Christmas since then.
How long have you been gone from I guess your parents' house, basically?
Well, I mean, I haven't lived with them since after high school.
Okay.
But I haven't lived in Minnesota for since probably like 1994-ish. But I did go back there once to live there for a while, about 25 years ago.
Oh, so you've been gone. You've been gone.
But it's still very much who I am, though. It's like that's who I am, right? That's where I grew up.
Scandinavian Lutheran, I'm guessing.
I think I still have an accent. Yeah, Lutheran.
Yeah.
My grandmother spoke Norwegian.
All right. Speaking of Norwegian, we had a Norwegian just come into the room, Mr. E. It's Frank the Salt guy. He's the co-pilot on Thursdays.
And I am also a Norwegian Lutheran.
Well, there you go.
Well, say something in Norwegian and prove it.
Jeg kan ikke snakke norsk.
Ufta.
Ufta. Hey, now we're talking.
Oh. That's the only word I know.
Ufta. Well, Mr. E, of course, Frank is one of my favorite guests, and I think he should be yours because not only is he, well, I know he hates this now, the lead transvestigator in the entire world. He makes the best videos on that topic. He's a full truther. He's a man of God. He has videos on God, and he must be right up your alley, Frank. Really,
100% a fan. As far as I know, the only thing we differ on is where we are on the timeline.
Let's not dwell.
Well, yeah, everyone disagrees with each other on that anyway, so that's
true.
Yeah, it's to be expected.
But Mr. E does fantastic videos. If you look on his channel on YouTube, that's where his, I guess, safer YouTube video goes. YouTube, I don't think is deleting so much stuff anymore, and he also is on BitChute, and you can go over there. He's got all his links somewhere on this page here, so I'll put them in the show notes. But Mr. E, you mainly post on YouTube now, is that right?
Yeah, mainly. That's just I don't really watch BitChute so much, and it's just kind of a weird, different vibe.
Well, for the avoidance of doubt, I agree in totality with everything you've published on transvestigation and the
yeah, so good,
and the male Kadesh.
Yeah, the cult prostitutes.
Yeah,
the ritual androgyny,
which has never ended, nor has the practice of having men portray the roles of women on the stage ever ended.
The world stage.
Yeah, and nobody lays it out more clearly than Mr. E, as far as I'm concerned, and with humor, and it's just good audio. He's just the whole thing. So you got to make sure you subscribe to Mr. E. He even has a special Mr. E at fakeologist.com forwarding email, so you can just email him really easily. That's MRE as at fakeologist.com. Do you ever get anything through there? Do you figure? Or I know you can't really tell.
Once in a while. Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah. So if you want to contact Mr. E, make sure you support him as well at Patreon. I guess that's the main place that you can find him, or on PayPal. But make sure you support independent content creators, rather. I always like to push that because people are very confused as to how we make a living here on the internet. It's not a good living, but do you get monetized on your YouTube channel? Do you get anything off of that?
Yeah, a little bit, tiny bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been totally banned.
Yeah,
I should have, back in the day, I should have had it. I used to get 1 million views a month.
Whoa.
And that should have been, if it, like, they, it was monetized, but it, like, the revenue kept going down as the views and subscribers went up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was, at the end, it was like $100 a month or something.
Okay, but
I was getting a lot of views. Like, if a normal channel with that many views would have got thousands of dollars a month.
Whoa. Okay. Well, so there you go.
Because it's
support it correctly.
1 million views a month would be probably $5,000 for just a regular channel these days.
Wow, that's awesome.
But I didn't get that much, at all. Not even close.
Well, it's good that you're here because Minnesota is the top of the pops. You guys are the #1 story. You're from Minnesota.
Which is so weird because it's like never, it was always just kind of a boring, out of the way, cold, miserable place.
Sounds like Canada.
Nobody talked about it, right? Ever.
Yeah.
Never. And now it's like, since George Floyd, it's like, I don't know what happened. Maybe it's just so liberal and the people are kind of naive. And I don't know. Is that fair to say?
Isn't the Mary Tyler Moore show set in that part of the
it was. Yeah.
I often think because Mr. E is Somalian. No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, I am now.
Dan Norwiggers, Tomanoid says. Norwiggers. That's funny. That's actually funny. When I heard this Somali story, like, I have a friend who's Somali and he's got 4 wives.
No way.
Year. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's true. He's truthful. You're not allowed to have 4 wives in Canada, but I'm not sure if you're not allowed explicitly. But one of his wives, only one of them is his official wife, and he has 2 more. I don't know. I think they're all in Somaliland, though. I don't think he's brought them here because he doesn't want them to become woke like his first wife. Like, she's I don't think she likes the other 3 kind of thing. So he doesn't like actually what the West does. So I think he's got about 15 children, but most of them are there in Somaliland. Only a few are here, 3 or 4 are here, which is a lot, I guess, by today's standards. But I'm wondering if their culture is different than, just say, the Scandinavian Christian culture. Because like you said, Christians seem to be so naive, and they keep turning the other cheek until they're black and blue. But they don't ever, do they deserve to be taken advantage of? Because I know a lot of cultures think if you guys are so naive, you deserve to be taken advantage of.
Well, I think it started because they thought they were helping the refugees, right? Originally, they had it's like, oh, these people are, there's refugees and there's war in their country. We have to help them. And, and then it makes them feel like they're doing something good by letting them come there.
But
and then it turns into a nightmare.
I would argue that we haven't been given a choice. No one asked me for my vote on that topic.
Yeah.
And whoever I voted for did it anyway.
No, you never voted on that topic, though.
That's what I said. We never got to vote on that topic.
Yeah. You don't get to vote on any topic, Frank.
That's the point I'm making.
The impression that voting
and then when you vote in the government that you think is going to do what you want them to, they still do what was on the agenda anyway.
I think people who are deceived, there is a certain amount of responsibility there. I think, in general, if you're deceived, you do have a role to play in that you were deceived.
Do they deserve it?
So I talk about politics in Australia, though. What happened was that there were people that were wanting to maintain, for example, a white Australia policy or whatever it was, and those people were basically either shot at or shut down or whatever, just non-stop. You couldn't even get the chance to vote for them in the end.
You got to get over this voting idea that it matters at all. So, Frank,
that's what I'm getting at. The point remains that how were any people that didn't want to go along with the agenda, which was, I would suggest, in the 60s, the majority of people, how could they have got their way across? So I personally don't think it's the responsibility of the people that were around during the time it took over. We just weren't able to initiate the responses that we wanted.
Mr. E, do you have family in Minnesota still?
I just got an email from my mom.
Okay.
She's there. She's 81. I'll read you one sentence. This is like breaking
Mr. E news.
Breaking email from Boots on the Ground.
Okay.
She said, let's see here. She said, schools are closed. Everyone is just waiting for the violent protests to start and the city to be burned down.
Whoa.
That's the email from 81-year-old woman in Minnesota. And it's funny, just a couple of months ago, I was talking to her. I said, so have the ICE agents arrived yet? And I think at that time they didn't really come yet. And I said, well, they'll be there soon, and you're going to have another George Floyd type of thing. And of course she thinks I'm crazy, basically, anytime I say something like that. But, here it is. It's pretty predictable. Remember, like the ICE, like in LA, it started in Los Angeles, at the beginning of last year sometime. And that whole thing was just kind of like a staged, they had a big, massive protest in Los Angeles, and then it spread around. And I mean, you can see this coming. It's pretty predictable, this whole thing. Do you want to talk about that? What's going on?
Well, this is the breaking news. This is breaking news. People want to hear it.
I'm really interested.
Is this real or stagecraft?
Well, for me, I don't. Yeah, I think it's a psyop because I don't think an actual agent would have shot and killed a woman driving in that situation, because they, when you kill someone, if you're, I've never been in law enforcement, but you would imagine they have some kind of training and some criteria as to when they're kind of allowed to shoot and kill someone or not. I mean, to a certain extent, he may have been justified, and they're going to spin it that way, and they are spinning it that way. But he was basically on the side of the car by the time he actually shot in there. So that one reason I think is a psyop is because, I'm not really an auto hoaxer, although I almost am, but I'm an auto skeptic.
Okay, that's good.
So I want to find a reason, and some evidence in it, and just the reaction to it all. So there's the actual event itself that I don't think he would have decided to shoot the lady in that situation. He was basically out of the way by the time he actually shot he was shooting. The last couple of shots were into the side window, so he was already out of harm's way, and he kept shooting her. you know?
Right.
So there's that. I just don't, he's going to risk his own career, you know, by shooting this lady, a white woman, a white lesbian, which he didn't, you know, he wouldn't have known that, but which means that there's
How could
sacred.
he? And he shot someone whose name was Good. How could
Exactly. Yeah, she's good. He's bad.
She looks good.
And then after she was shot in the head,
Linebacker.
after getting shot in the face and in the head and being dead, this car actually steered to the right. If you watch the video.
I'm trying to find the video. It's interesting that Drudge leads to the Daily Fail, which is a United Kingdom.
I can't even see that. I cannot even access that Daily Mail where I live. It's blocked or something.
It's called I call it the Daily Fail. So that just tells you all good stories come from the United Kingdom, because I still think they run this world and they produce all the propaganda.
Yeah.
I really do. There's no Americans that were videoing this, but I'll try and find an American.
And then it's the reaction to it is like so scripted and planned and so obvious, you know, like the Fox News and the right is basically given, you know, she's a domestic terrorist, blah, blah, blah. And then the left is, you know, ICE is domestic. Like the whole thing is just the response to it is not organic or normal or natural. No one's giving objective reporting on it. It's all extremely divisive journalism coming out, designed to cause chaos. And the word chaos has been used like dozens of times by everybody involved. Like, listen for the word chaos. When the word chaos is used in the mass media by everyone, journalists, government officials, whoever, then you know, like this is orchestrated chaos. I think, because you saw the word chaos a lot with George Floyd, and this took place a mile away from the George Floyd event, 4 blocks. You can look on the map. It's pretty interesting. It's like right there in the same neighborhood as George Floyd. So
I'm going to try and find, I haven't read the story, but I agree totally 100%.
And this guy, this mayor guy, he seems like a really bad actor. Like he couldn't even get a job on a soap opera, you know?
Bad hair, bad look.
He's kind of like a soap opera type of actor, you know. He dropped a few F-bombs, you know, get the F out, you know. And so this whole, I guess this is part of the whole ICE. This whole ICE thing is kind of weird. And then Christopher Nome, the cowboy, dressing up like a cowboy now.
You're talking about the
Christy Nome, the director of ICE. Yeah. Ice Barbie.
Ice Barbie. Yeah. You've done videos on him.
Yeah. You know, has a totally plastic face, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, people can make their own decisions on the biological sex of this person. I've made my.
Is that on your BitChute? That must be on your BitChute channel.
Yeah, so
that's not on YouTube.
Probably not. I kind of, like on YouTube, they don't really like the personalized transvestigation on individual people, because then you know what I think is going on with that. I think they think of it as they're being persecuted. They think of it. I think they think of it as religious persecution.
Interesting.
All religions are persecuted eventually at some point in time. Even Buddhists have been persecuted, and it only makes them stronger, really. You know, it's just all they have to do is say, "Hey, we're being persecuted, so let's gather together and get stronger." You know. So Taylor Swift has risen to the top despite the transvestigations. So,
do you think All the President's Men has Kristi Noem in there? That might be the one. Or do you have a
just pull up a photo of Kristi Noem? I mean, that's all you need.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We don't need to watch the video.
No, I wanted to link to it, but
probably All the President's Men, maybe. I don't know. There's just so many of them, and they're all over. I mean, you know, look at the ancient world. The eunuchs were in the palace, right? And that was like that they were like an official. You had to have the eunuchs in the palace, working for the king and queen directly. They were the closest people, the closest government, the closest officials to the king and queen were the eunuchs. No one else got access like them. And they're the like in the Stranger Things, the Upside Down, they're the inversion, and they open up the wormhole. And there is a supernatural element. I don't think you talk about supernatural stuff so much on your show here, but I
We'll
think
talk
that, you
about
know,
it.
in the ancient world, you know, and there was always a supernatural element with the king, who was basically, you know, taking orders from the spiritual realm somehow.
Mhm.
So
I'm just trying to play this video, but it looks like it's being blocked or something on BitChute, or I see the ad.
This
I
breakthrough
see what was
invention is a
happening.
personal
All the
fountain of youth. It
the
gives
ad
you more
blocker
energy,
was
healthier
blocking it.
skin, and better sleep, all
Okay.
while
Oh, they got
boosting your
ads
immune
now.
system and slowing
Oh
it.
yeah, BitChute's the worst. So what
But do people even make money? Have I made money on BitChute? Probably not.
I don't know, but I have to play. Okay, I have to play it on
Yeah.
Break.
Don't worry about them. Just pull up a photo. Pull up the photo of Kristi Noem in a cowboy hat. That just came out yesterday.
Oh, it's a new one. Okay.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Okay, Kristi Noem.
The cowboy.
Okay, well, that's coming up. It's coming right up. Kristi,
The Ice Queen. Yeah, the Ice Queen. Queen's another one of these code words. There it is. I mean, come on. This is like some kind of this is like a superhero movie or something, you know? This is like something right out of the show, The Boys, or the
There we go.
Peacemaker or something.
There's the Ice
Come
Queen.
on. Come on. I mean, this can't be real. You think this is a normal response to a tragic shooting? Someone's just going to come out like this and give a press conference and call the driver of that car a domestic terrorist?
Yeah.
Come on. You know, this is extreme. So
just when you
craziness.
think that the Trumpies, or if you had any illusion that the Trumpies were on our side, think again, because they're going along with this pantomime just like anyone else would, and whether it be the Democrats, they're all in on it, which is really sad and really disgusting, actually.
And what's funny is the conclusions about this car event are determined by if you're left or right. Like, we have the same exact event happen, the same data. We all see the same things. And people either think he was justified if they're on the right, and, you know, that woman's a victim if you're on the left. You know, it's like no one's looking at it objectively except us. And we're, you know, I think the whole thing's a staged psyop. What do you guys think? I don't know.
Frank?
And you have the trauma aspect.
Yeah, I think it was staged. Yeah.
So
I'm
why?
I'm an auto hoaxer, so I don't have to worry about it being real, and it's really easy for me because I know everything is staged and controlled. I know if it's anything real. If there's a real criminal investigation, you don't get any evidence.
You don't get no.
Because the last I heard, they still have jury trials in the United States. That means that anyone that is on the jury cannot be predisposed to any of the information. It has to come to them fresh, as if they never heard about it. Now, of course, it wouldn't be that easy to hide it, but on the other hand, they couldn't explicitly show the video. You know, I know the excuse probably would be that, well, everyone's taking the video, but in a real civil society, they would just tell people, don't distribute the video. And it certainly wouldn't be distributed and commented on by any elected official. They would just say, sorry, it'll be before the courts. I don't want to be the one that is blamed on a hung jury if I shoot my mouth off.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main tell.
And it's a mass media event.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
I mean, I think police officers do sometimes shoot people, and, you know, people get murdered. You know, I've known people who got murdered and all this stuff. So these things happen, but it doesn't become a mass media circus.
No.
You know, it's the mass media circus that gives it away.
And the other problem is we have all the info on all these characters right away. Like, you've got her whole background is laid out within 24 hours.
Yeah.
In the media. How is that possible?
And presumably there's a GoFundMe campaign somewhere.
Well, yeah, you got to look for that. But
and after the crash, like there was some doctor who was trying to help, and they wouldn't let him help, and like the whole scene was like blocked off,
right.
You know? And so, there's so many indications it was a hoax. But there's the trauma. The problem is the event is always kind of tragic and emotional, right? So if you say it's a psyop, then that actually makes people angry because they're traumatized, and it's too late to engage in logic because people have been emotionally triggered.
Right. It's trauma
on either the left or the right. They're emotionally triggered. And people are not really logical. People are emotional primarily, I believe.
Absolutely. And here's CNN.
Ed Keeley is saying, how do you actually know anyone was killed?
We never will.
We don't. Where's the body?
Where's the body? Yeah.
Show us the
and then
pictures.
if you say that to some normal person, they'll get really offended.
Oh, yeah.
They'll think you're crazy.
Now, here's CNN.communist. And here is them injecting themselves into the story. CNN's Omar Jimenez runs. Why do we need to know? So he is injecting himself into the story. So he has become the story.
But he's doing it in an objective way. He's running objectively.
All right.
Because
CNN in just the past few minutes, the governor, Tim Walz, has authorized the state National Guard to be staged to be ready to support local law enforcement if they're needed. CNN's Omar Jimenez joins us now from the federal building in Minneapolis. Omar, walk us through the scene there.
Yeah, right now.
I'll tell you one thing. This is really taking the heat off the Somalis. It couldn't have been orchestrated any better. Do you notice that?
Well, they're there because of the Somalis, though.
Right, but the focus was on the fraud, but now that's over.
Because they had all this COVID fraud before.
Right.
So see, my mom's been telling me about this for years.
Mm-hmm.
All this COVID fraud. They got all this, lockdown money or whatever, and that was all fraudulent. There's millions of dollars there, and yeah. So, and she was just as a case study. She used to be a liberal. She voted for Obama and all this stuff.
Right.
Now she's a Trump supporter.
Oh, good.
Not sure exactly what happened there, but
she had a turning point,
an epiphany.
Turning point USA.
Yeah, but now she's like she just, it's kind of like the average person doesn't really think for themselves, though. They're, it's like going from one group to another, but you're still in some group. People have to be in a group, I guess.
They're coming towards us right now. Stay up. You're good. You're good. So they're pushing folks back right now. As you can see behind me there, they've deployed some form of crowd repellent just in the last few seconds here. And look, this has been a lot of what we've seen over the course of the day. As someone has threw a water bottle towards those agents, which really they're heading into the crowd right now.
Shoot them.
We're gonna back
water
up.
Bomb.
You gotta shoot them.
They're moving, truly sprinting into the crowd, and they are tackling folks. Come this way.
Right. We're with you.
Good
Omar.
journalism.
Stay safe.
Turn around.
Wow.
You see right
this
there,
is embedded journalism. Who needs to go to Iraq? You can go to St. Paul,
Minneapolis. They seem to be sprinting after individuals. They just broke.
So
from
my
the
question
line.
is, do you think these guys are actual ICE or are they actors too? Because I'm kind of worried that these guys are part of the stagecraft, even though they're coming out of the federal building.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're real ICE agents or
there's probably like a small group. There's a small group of people who are like the hoaxer type guys, like maybe a team of 20 guys or something.
Yeah.
And then there's a few hundred just regular soldiers who are just following orders, doing their job. I think that I don't know. I mean, it's like there's so many people involved in these hoaxes, but you don't want too many people to be involved because then, it gets out of hand. You have to, even if it's just the people in the top, everyone else just follows orders. So, but the guys in that video, the car video, they were all in. They would have to be in on it. It's like a little movie set on that street. When the lady got shot, it's like that was like a little movie set. So everyone's involved. Everyone there was involved in it, I would imagine. And then regular people kind of showed up and then they just they're like extras, but they react predictably.
Oh, here we go again with the cloudy surveillance footage. Now, I can tell you the cameras on houses and Ring doorbells is really clear. Doesn't look like this.
Yeah. But see, the main thing is he didn't need to shoot the lady, I don't think, because he was on the side of the car. And then if you look, I think for me, the tell is after she gets shot in the head, the car turns to the right.
Is that the car there?
Watch this one. It's in this video here. But everything's just ambiguous enough so that you can cause a lot of division here. Okay, now watch. After getting shot, boom, shot, the car turns to the right.
Right.
Maybe I'll make a video on this and put it in slow motion. How could the car turn to the right if she's been shot in the head?
Yeah,
that's my question.
He actually takes, and now we go to the commercial for Apple TV. Wow, it's really hard. Reality blends with the latest Netflix Apple TV show.
Also, the news gets a lot of views when something like this happens.
Oh, this is big bucks.
Yeah, so in a way, like they need to create these things just so people watch the news.
And you do have to remember that the legal restraint on US government deceiving people, their own population, has been removed. It was illegal at one stage for the government to deceive the people of the USA, but it no longer is the case.
When was it not? When was it illegal?
Up until about 15 years ago, is my memory.
Well, does that include the news channels as well?
Yes.
Or just the government? Oh, it did.
Do you have any evidence of that? Because I think I know what you're talking about. There was
I would need to do some. I haven't got it at hand.
There was some court case allegedly over some guy, one of the CNN guys from the past, suing because he was fired for not doing something regarding maybe the agricultural business in Florida, and that's when it became that's when there was some kind of ruling about it's news entertainment. They don't have to tell the truth or something. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. And also there was a restraint. There was a restraint on the US government lying to the public.
I'll ask the bot.
Well, it would depend on what is a lie. There's different ways of lying without really lying. So they could probably get around that somehow.
But as I said, my memory, my recollection is that it has actually been there was sort of a get around, but now it's been made very clear cut.
So okay, yeah.
And if I'm wrong about that, it will be easily tested, I'm sure.
Well, they must have broke that rule in 9/11, though.
So Unmitigated Mind calls it the Smith-Munt Modernization Act.
No, that's not it. I think you're talking. It's the Florida Fox affiliate case. That's what it is, and I'll read it to you because I didn't think it had anything to do with what you thought it had to do with. So let me read it to you just to be clear, so we can give you the facts here on the Fakeologist show. And this is courtesy of Perplexity, which is one of the best robot reporters that I've found. Okay. There was a well-known Florida case involving a Fox affiliate, but the court did not create a general rule that the news does not have to tell the truth. The news does not have to tell the truth. Okay, that's because I said it maybe strangely. In the late 90s, reporters Jane Aker and Steve Wilson sued WTVT. I think Steve Wilson was a Current Affair. I don't know if you remember that show. That news.
Yes, I remember. Well, they're still on here. I think I was on here for a long time.
Yeah. He sued WTVT, a Fox-owned station in Tampa, claiming they were fired for refusing to air a distorted story about bovine growth hormone in milk. A jury initially awarded Aker damages, but in 2003, the Florida 2nd District Court of Appeal reversed the verdict, holding that the FCC's news distortion policy was not a legally enforceable rule for purposes of the whistleblower statute she used. So first of all, this was a policy of a department of the federal government. So it's not a law. Policy is not a law. We went through
now
that
look up
COVIDs.
Les Go is saying that the Smith-Mundt Act was repealed, allowing propaganda on the American people by the government.
Yeah, but all that meant was that was a modernization of the Smith-Mundt Act because it was illegal to propagandize directly into America. It had to go out of the country. So it was legal for the federal government to spread lies and propaganda outside the country because back in the day when it was created, there was very little way for that info to leak back into the country. But because of the internet, there is no border for news anymore. So in other words, if they're lying outside of the country to spread propaganda, then it just boomeranged back into the country anyway, almost immediately because of the internet.
Yes.
So, because of that impracticality, they just said it's fine. There's no longer an explicit law, so it was sort of softened.
Yeah, but I don't agree with what you're saying. In the reality was that it was okay to do a Tokyo Rose thing in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're saying it didn't get back into the country. That's fine.
Okay.
But what should have happened with the internet is that, you should have said, okay, because of that impracticality, we now can't use that propaganda on foreign countries. And that's the end of it. But instead, what they've done is now allowed propaganda to all people, including their own population. That's a big change, Tim, regardless of whether you think it's okay or not. It is not okay. It's not really okay to lie anyway, to bear false witness.
Yeah. It said the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012 folded into the 2013 National Defense Authorization Act, amended this ban so that content produced for foreign audiences could be made available in the United States upon request. The change did not newly authorize the government to propagandize Americans. Rather, it allowed domestic access to material the government was already broadcasting abroad, framed by supporters as a transparency and accountability measure.
But hang on, you're saying in words that make it sound like it's okay, exactly the same thing as I'm saying. The net effect is that now, the net effect is that the US government can now propagandize its own people.
The modernization allowed U.S. media, researchers, and the general public to obtain and rebroadcast State Department and U.S. Agency for Global Media content, such as VOA, Voice of America, Radio Free Europe programming, that previously was effectively off limits domestically. It did not repeal other legal or constitutional limits on government propaganda, and it did not create a new mandate to target Americans with psychological operations, despite frequent online claims to that effect. So
explain to me the difference though between before they couldn't do it, now they can do it. So whether you and I are arguing over semantics of whether it did allow or didn't allow, previously they couldn't do it. Now they can.
Okay.
But
if there hadn't been a change in the Smith-Mundt Act, they would be prevented from doing it to this day.
No,
but haven't they always been doing? Haven't they always been doing propaganda and lying to us anyway, regardless of this law?
And it's not legal.
Well, then so tell me why did they change the Smith-Mundt Act if they could do it before?
I just told you why.
So, but up until the change in the Smith-Mundt Act, you couldn't access these foreign materials produced for foreign consumption.
No, you couldn't rebroadcast them in the United States because they were only for foreign consumption. But because it was coming back into the country anyway, directly through the internet, they just relaxed the ban on it, saying, "Listen, we can't enforce it anyhow, so we'll just drop it."
But But there's a big difference between stuff coming off the internet through leaking in from other countries as opposed to CNN broadcasting it as an American source, a trusted American source.
Well, first of all, as we just saw, usually they broadcast it from another source, and that's why it all comes from England, the Daily Fail. Anyway, we got a caller in here. I think you'll like this. intro here.
Hold time 15 seconds.
Caller, one moment. I'm playing your theme song for Mr.
Down
E.
by the St. Lawrence, where the cold winds play, lives John the beggar with a mind that sways. He connects the dots in a curious maze. Oh John, the beggar of the bay, reading the script while the world's on display. With FAK1192, they light up the grave.
All right. Caller in or go ahead. Say hi to Mr. E and Frank.
Hello, Mr. E, and hello, Frank.
I'm very envious of your song, John.
You're very envious? Oh, maybe you can get the guy to write you one.
Nothing's going to beat that. It's got the whole Mel Gourmet thing going on.
Yeah, Mel Torme, it does.
Mel Torme, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, I loved Mr. E's video on the First Ladies, on Melania, Big Mike, and Big Eleanor.
Yeah, that was like a 20-second short video.
Yeah, I saw that. That was great.
That showed up in my feed. I really liked it. You know, I was looking at some of these things. They come on in short feeds. They show you actors and actresses back then in the day and then today where they're real old. And there was a character on a show called Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. And when they showed her back then, I always thought she was an awful big woman. and she almost looks like Melania today. So I'm wondering if that's her.
Oh, wow.
Playing the part.
Do you know the name of the person?
I don't remember the name. I was looking at it real quick when then I had to shut my computer down because I had to get out and get a bus to get to the doctor. So
it's not the woman that played Catwoman, is it?
No. This is Buck Rogers in the 25th Century.
Okay, and what is the character?
It was one of the characters. She was one of the villains always in it.
Oh, that's pretty vague.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. And I saw that real briefly, and I thought, damn, that looks like her today. That you could do a little makeup and boom. But she's some sort of an actress. And I have no doubt that she's transgender.
Okay. Buzzing Fred says it's Erin Gray.
No, Erin Gray is not the one. She was one of the good guys with Gil Gerard.
Okay, well, we're not going to dwell on it. I'll put a couple pictures up for Mr. E to look at. He is the expert after all.
Well, we got to find out exactly who it was, and something to look into later.
I got a few. I'll flip by on the thing if you can see them here. They should be popping up a little better, but they're not coming up here. I don't know.
I thought of you today, Frank. I was eating some red cabbage, and I was putting salt on it.
Fantastic. Perfect combination of potassium and salt.
Okay, let's get back to Mr. E because this is the Mr. E show. I don't want to go down these. Frank is the co-host, not the guest tonight. It's Mr. E, so let's keep everything Mr. E related, if you don't mind.
Okay. Like I said, I really loved that video there, and then there was that one. I don't know if you did it or someone else that said the models. Some lady from the modeling industry.
That's me. Yeah,
that was you too.
She like basically admitted it. That these men, which we already know they do this, but that was from 1997, just an actual article saying this woman admitted that they were putting men in the modeling shows as pretending to be women.
Now I want to play a Mr. E video just because if people that are watching this show don't get around to watching it, I want to show you the quality of video.
There's Eric.
Let me play this. This is what you're missing if you're not following Mr. E. Mr. E is a little too what's the word? You're shy, not shy.
Coy.
You're humble. You're too humble to enjoy your own work. So let me play a bit.
I view it as a holistic thing. You can't just focus on the female, and you can't just focus on the male. There is a beautiful balance of,
like, if you didn't have Mr. E's perspective, you would miss all of this.
That's their religion. Yeah, that's theology. Actually, is what Eric Kirk is doing right there.
Adam Cadmone with bells on.
Yeah, and it's monism. I'm going to do another video because I got some new stuff came out. But it's Gnosticism and monism, where basically they believe they are the manifestation of God. They're like God expressing himself through them. And their body is just a vessel, so they don't care if it's male or female. They can change it, do anything they want to their stupid body, right? It's just like a body of a car. You can change it, you know? So, and they don't believe in a creator God, and they don't believe they are the creation. They believe they are
Well, fundamentally,
God.
I think they're saying that we ultimately, because God is inside us, as we all unify again, we create ourselves, you know, that kind of, that thing
they create themselves.
Where you go into the past and, you know, become your own grandfather. It's kind of like that.
See, they don't believe in a creator God. They are the manifestation of God expressing himself in different ways through all of us. Exactly. And so that's why they don't believe there's men and women, because that's just an illusion, right? So there's no creator God. They are God.
We split apart to discover different aspects of ourselves.
They're not part of this creation. That's what Eric Kirk just said right there. There is we're not created. You know, there's no male and female. There's no creation.
You can't just focus on the female, and you can't just focus on the male. There is a beautiful balance of having the two turn into one.
My job, my primary function, is to create a balance.
Oh, wait. Could you stop it?
Absolutely.
Remember this guy there, Jeremy Renner. He was in a snowcat accident. Yeah. It was big news like 2 years ago.
Okay,
he was run over by one of these massive snow plows. They call him a snowcat.
Okay.
And he lived in
on a ski hill.
What's that? Lake Tahoe area.
Yeah.
And I forget the name of the name of the mountain he lived on was significant, which I forget.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna look it up.
But anyway, it smells like a psyop. You know what I mean? Because he died. He basically died and rose again. I think it was Rose Mountain is where he lived as well. So there's this code where the word rose is used, or rise is used a lot. So just type in Jeremy Renner snowcat, and it was like a couple of years ago. It was like massive. He basically like died and rose again. So it's some, I don't know, some kind of ritual of the symbolic ritual of dying.
It was in
and rising
Reno.
again. Reno, yeah, Lake Tahoe area. And
pulled onto the left track, 35 broken bones. Well, I'm glad it wasn't 33.
But he seems fine now. You know what I mean? Like soon afterwards, he looked okay. But he went on all the talk shows and talked about. It was like a massive psyop, actually. I'm pretty sure. The problem is, right? It's this tragic event, right? So if you say it's a psyop, you come off as a cold-hearted, mean person, right? But I'm skeptical. Let's put it that way.
Well, hey, I never heard of it.
Everything.
I never heard of the damn thing, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could do a whole show on that, I mean, I heard about it before, but somehow I came across, because of that show, this Mayor of Kingstown, which is kind of an interesting show. It's another one of these Taylor Sheridan shows.
Mm-hmm.
This who's the king of streaming services, and all kinds of symbolism, Anyway, that's a side note.
January 1st, 2023. I must have.
The new year. The new year, right? You got to die and rise again on the new year.
He was hit while saving his nephew Alex. It was 27. That's 9. His age was not 54. That's 9.
Oh.
And he shared a picture on his Instagram. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just one of it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't really. Yeah. The name of the mountain is Mount Rose.
He rose.
Yeah, and he rose from the dead. And there's a lot of this kind of dying and rising again symbolism, and that goes back to like Greek mythology, and it goes back to Babylonian and the ancient world. Again, it's all the ancient myths these guys are repeating, because the Freemasons and these guys, it's all ancient stuff, that we don't even understand today.
It was at 9 a.m. There's your 9. So a lot of 9s here.
Yeah, I mean, no, that deserves a deep dive in and of itself, And now he's on the show where he's basically playing like a guardian angel kind of character, and there's a prison, which is the abyss. Anytime you see a prison in a show, it represents the abyss with all the demons. It's like they're all like representing like dead demons and stuff. And then there's the outside world, and there's this he's the mediator between the spiritual realm, or the demonic realm, and the human realm. That's his role on the show.
And do we really? Why do they make it a big? Oh, wait!
It was a big deal.
It was
on all the talk shows.
14,330 pounds.
What is
they
that?
really get it in there that we really need to know the weight of a snow removal machine,
and we don't need to know.
14,330. So there's your numbers. There's some more numbers there. If you believe all this is signature coding. I say.
Okay. So yeah, they put a lot of numbers in these stories that don't really need to be there.
Right? Not at all.
And I don't know. I'm not really the numbers guy. I don't understand all the number symbolism.
I don't either. I just know enough that it's put there to distract, but it's there on purpose. So if they're going to give us details like numbers, anyway,
because every number has significance in Masonry. Every single number. So, and they know it's for them. I think they can decode it better than we could,
Look at everyone with their masks doing the ritual. There we go.
Yeah. Like this whole thing is like a staged production for the masses, and this guy's in the Marvel movies. What does he play? The Archer or something? I don't know his name. Hawkeye, I think is the name of his character.
That's the Archer.
Yeah. I don't care about any of that. So I don't follow that, but okay. Yeah, quite the time.
But it's popular. But the Marvel movies are the top movies in our culture today, worldwide. So it is, so he's not just some actor,
He's not just anyone.
Yeah, he's in like the biggest movies out there today.
All right, we have another caller in her. So
hold time 6 minutes 10 seconds.
Okay, other caller in her. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Brian in Washington.
Brian, Happy New Year. Say hi to Mr. E and Frank.
Happy New Year, Brian.
Both you good gentlemen. Yeah, I see PTL Media in the chat room. I'll have to battle this out with him later. And I'll be quick because, I know he and you fellas want to talk about your research on dicks and clits. So don't let me keep you from that.
Okay.
There is a long weekend ahead, and I just want to make sure, if you have any listeners, there is a YouTube channel that is titled Silas Speaks. 2 days ago, The Twilight of the Petrodollar, Venezuela and the Cost of Hegemony. It's a little over an hour. I would really encourage your listeners to have a look. I have been in contact with Silas. He told me to basically go pound sand. I'm wondering, at one time you were inviting him, Tim, onto your show on a regular basis. Jenna thinks it's just the time difference. He couldn't do it. But can you fill in what happened to Silas? I'm curious.
I can't right now because we're doing a show with Mr. E, and it's kind of disrespectful to the guest when we go completely off topic. So maybe next time I don't have such a prominent guest as Mr. E, I'll get into.
All right.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'm not a prominent person.
Yeah, you are on you're on my show.
All right. Well, let's get back to
I've talked to Silas before. We've done a show together.
Yeah, Silas is a good guy. I have nothing against him. Nothing happened. There's nothing to talk about.
That's been my experience with him, and of course, he is from a island of England, including Scotland. I have to be very suspicious of these people. It's not just my Irish heritage. They basically run the United States and have.
I thought the Jews did. Now it's the Irish?
No, please, Tim, do not confuse who runs England. It is the tiny hats. But
okay. So they control England, but not the United States.
They control the world. Ask anybody, Tim. But I know that you are well paid to produce this.
Okay.
It's the.
Bye, Brian. I don't like to be accused of being paid by the tiny hats.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
I don't mind.
It's slander, you know.
Yeah, that's slander. And
I mean, a lot of truthers are just slanderers, in my opinion. No offense to anyone out there who does that, but you know, it's like calling someone a name is not research.
Yeah,
you know,
that's not research.
Research takes time and effort, and it's difficult.
Right, and that's what you do, and Brian doesn't do it. So let's go back to your video because that was a rude.
Yeah,
that was a very
and also
interruption.
Just because someone has a different opinion than you, it doesn't make them a shill or an operative. They just have a different opinion because we don't have all the facts. You know, we don't know everything, so we take what we have and try to make a conclusion based on the evidence we have.
Right,
and we all disagree on something somewhere at some point, and it doesn't mean anyone's
being paid.
I think it's I think the key thing is to judge the fruits, isn't it?
Yeah,
Be known by the fruits of your work.
Right.
That's a good,
and I resent being said I'm paid because, as I point out earlier, I'm not paid.
And I would argue,
you can
Tim,
tell me
that
I
think,
yeah,
from my point of view, I think your fruit is excellent.
Thank you. And I don't think Mr. E is being paid because he makes.
I wish I was. Someone's got to pay me.
I'm sure I've had the odd.
I could use some money.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure I've had the odd paid shill on the show, but they don't come back over and over again and bring excellent truth that I agree with. And if Mr. E is paid, then okay, well, it's good paid work, and he should be paid for this because it's good stuff. And hardly anyone else is publishing anything close to this quality. So that's why Mr. E is back, because I figure if you haven't heard of Mr. E and his work, then you're missing out. So that's why I just bring it here, and you listen and you watch and you disseminate in case you couldn't find them. So let's keep going.
All right, let's go to the
balance.
Balance.
What's that? Balance, yeah. Now,
okay, go ahead.
Show today to talk about androgyny. How do you define what androgynous means?
Two things at once.
I think it's sort of a mixture between male and female, bringing it together.
Having the two turn into one.
Two things at once.
I have played basketball since I was 5. Super tomboy. Didn't like dresses. I love to work out. Everyone thought I was a little boy.
If I was a man, I'd be the man. Like, you guys would think I was so cool if I was doing this stuff and I was a guy.
They believed that giving their daughter a name that could also be a boy's name would help her forge a successful business career someday.
I'd be the man. I'd be the man.
Man, the fact that you find these things and juxtapose them, it's just so powerful. And
some of it just happens kind of like organically, like it just kind of, sometimes people send me things, but I just kind of remember these things and I put it together. But anyway, because they're all saying the same thing, so it's really not that hard, really. But it takes some time. Like it takes a day to make a video like that, you know. But
EST Live says, "Does Mr. E have a Patreon?" Yes, he does. Mr. E has.
Yeah. Just go in my videos. There's a little link below the thing. And anyway, there's so Erica Kirk said when she was a little girl, people thought she was a little boy. And she said everyone thought she was a little boy. So is that a normal thing to say? Is that a normal experience?
No.
Say you're like a, I don't know, 5 to 10-year-old. Yeah, if they're a little baby, it's hard to tell sometimes. But for 5 to 10 years old, do you ever confuse a little girl as being a little boy? Does that happen to anybody? I don't think it does. What do you
Anna
guys think?
says, "Tell us how you collate these clips." Well, I don't know what that means.
Collate, gather them.
I know.
I just download them and put them in a folder, and I have a put it in Final Cut Pro, and I kind of just try to arrange it in a way that that works.
Okay, that's good.
I take notes actually every time I see something. If I watch some TV show, I'll take notes. So that's how, like the Mayor of Kingstown, Jeremy Renner show, I had a note and I put down episode 5 season 3 at 15 minutes, whatever it is. I read it down and I take a note of when they say this key term, the dialogue, and then I can find it later and put it in this video. So
if you have any clips for Mr. E, because he can't see everything all the time, Mr. E at fakeologist.com, send him a link, send him a clip, and he'll put it in probably if he finds it.
Yeah, I get
relevant.
like a lot of the clips I use, people send to me. Others I find on my own. Some are on the internet, some are not. I have to like film, like a lot of these TV show clips. I had to film it myself because they're not really online. You can't just download it. But so Taylor Swift is also 5'11", by the way. But I think 5'11" really means 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And they're 6 feet if they have shoes on anyway. But the official height for like Melania, Big Mike, and Eleanor Roosevelt, I have seen 6 feet tall was also used as an official height for some of these people.
So you're saying they keep it under 6 just so it's not so obvious that they're probably not women.
And if you try to look up the height of any one of these celebrities, you're going to get different numbers. Like but Taylor Swift admitted to being 5'11" on a talk show. Trump is 6'2" or so. So, once you know someone's height, you can kind of
when you see them together,
how tall they really are. But they lie about their height. They lie about their ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
They lie about everything, their sex, their biological sex. And Taylor Swift grew up on a Christmas tree farm, and Christmas tree is the Asherah, which is the ancient
So
goddess.
she probably didn't actually grow up on a Christmas tree farm, but that's the story. Is that what you mean?
And the family is quite wealthy. The family seems to own some kind of trucking company or something. Seems to come from a very wealthy family.
All right.
It was a child, one of these these gifted, talented childhood stars in waiting kind of thing, kind of born and raised to be Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? And Taylor Swift is basically the the most famous celebrity in the world, right? So
I'm wondering if they assign these children to rich families, and
it could be.
I'm not sure they're actually biologically theirs. I think
not.
Yeah, it's some kind of fostering service where a rich person says, "I will be the tribute person to this person, and I will help finance it, and because we don't want anyone to know there's a androgyne breeding program, so it has to come from somewhere."
Their families, their backstory is a lie as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there may be some truth because you come across people who say, "Oh, I went to high school with this person, or whatever." But a lot of them go to these kind of special schools, these performing arts schools, and all that kind of stuff.
Well, one of the first videos I watched, I thought was truth back when I didn't realize there's alternative truth, was a video on Obama called "Dreams of My Father."
The children of Obama, not his children, right? That kind of thing.
No, it was about where Obama came from. So what they were is that it was a full alternative story about where Obama came from, and I thought, why is this out? I thought, well, this is the truth because it's not the official story, and it was a well-polished documentary on where he really was from. But then I realized that was probably a diversion tactic too.
Well, I think he's Indonesian. He's an Asian dude. Yeah,
from the Dutch East India Company bloodline kind of thing.
Yeah, he's absolutely Indonesian. He's Asian, so he wasn't even the first black president.
Right, because he's brown.
If he's an Asian, he's our first Asian president.
Right. Yeah,
which doesn't play into any narrative necessarily.
But my point is that the unofficial story that I watched is a very polished documentary. That was BS too.
Well, he may have been. He may have believed what he was saying, or he may have been some operative or something. But sometimes people believe something strongly, but they may be wrong. I don't know which video you're talking about, but
well, I don't either. Dreams of My Father is Obama's book, but I'm gonna have to look up the video. I can't remember.
I really doubt that he wrote that.
Well, I don't think anyone.
And that gave rise to the theory that his real father was some other black dude,
right?
You know, and that was just another red herring, in my opinion. You know, they're Frank, Frank something, yeah. So there's a lot of red herrings with Obama and with all these people. So I like your point.
I think Malcolm X was mentioned as a potential father as well at one stage.
Wow.
Okay, the movie was Dreams from My Real Father.
It's a red herring because he's really Indonesian, I think.
Yeah, so
that's what nobody talks about. That like people think you're crazy if you say that.
Yeah, so
even though he looks Indonesian.
Chaps, I have to bail out, so I'm going to wish you a fond adieu.
Thank you, Frank. Have a great night. Thank you for joining.
All right. Hey, man. See you.
Here it is. Here, Joel Gilbert. It came out in 2012, which is when I first got into truth. And I thought this was the real deal, but this is highly polished. And this was saying that Obama really comes from Frank Marshall Davis, a communist in Hawaii.
Yeah. But that's a red herring, and people on the right believe that, right? So like everyone still wanted him to be black because that fits the narrative of the right or the left. And everyone wants him to be born in Africa or something like that. And then if you say he's Indonesian, there's really no political agenda. It doesn't get anyone riled up necessarily, you know. He has to be black, to be part of the divisive narrative on either side,
right?
And everyone wants him to be in really the official story is half black anyway, half white.
Yes,
grew up in a white home. That's the official story. So he's kind of half and half, right? The official story, but really he's just some Asian dude from Indonesia. Grew up in Hawaii. I actually know a guy who went to high school with him in Hawaii, and they smoked tons of herb and did lots of coke. This guy told me he's a recovered drug addict, and he said, man, I was in his ganja. He had the ganja club. You know, Obama had the ganja club, and he admits to doing coke in his book. But my friend, he's like, no, we did like tons of coke.
All right, so you believe this guy?
Oh, he's a friend of mine. Yeah, it's a guy I know.
Okay, so you're trusting here. Okay,
he just mentioned it one day. He's like, "Oh yeah, I went to high school." He showed me a photo of him and Obama in the ganja club, like an actual photo.
By the way, Fake Nukes Phil has got 3 videos already on the Renee Good psyop in Minnesota. So he's got a bunch of stuff here.
Oh yeah.
Fake Nukes Phil is our he pounds out the videos 3-4 a day on all this stuff. So if you want to. You can watch a bit of that if you want.
This is a good one because it's so emotionally charged, and people on the right or the left have something to latch onto to further their own ideology. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then people like us who are kind of, for me, I try to take a step back. My first reaction is kind of like anyone else, like, oh, you get emotionally triggered, right? It's like, oh, wow, they killed some woman. That's horrible. And then it's like, you got to calm down and take a step back and like, okay. Just let the propaganda come out and kind of analyze the situation rationally, and look at it as a propaganda. And what else was I going to say about this video here, though?
Taylor,
I forget. So Eric Kirk, and then Taylor Swift. Oh, so we were talking about their parents not being their real parents. That makes, and someone in the comments said that makes a lot of sense because. You could then kind of harm the child more, you know what I mean? Like if they put the child in a home and it's not their real parents, then they will turn that child into whatever they need to be without feeling like they're harming the child somehow or something.
Well, they're foster parents, and foster situations are always abusive. If you look,
really?
From what I understand, they can lend themselves. Because the parents are paid to raise the child. That's how it works in the foster
and
system.
to raise them with a certain ideology. And I believe they're sexually abused as well. So they have a little trans kid, 5-year-old little boy dressed up like a girl, and they're abusing these people. So these people, in a way, you could almost say Taylor Swift was probably ritually abused and traumatized like in an MK Ultra type of situation. Possibly, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It is now, totally brainwashed, Taylor Swift probably believes he's some kind of divine androgyne some kind of special person and believes in this ideology, this I am a god or a goddess on earth, and look at me, I'm rich and famous, and I go around the world and millions of people come to see me live. I must be special, you know. So I mean, at some point they must know, hey, I'm not actually a real woman, you know. And you'd think that they'd be like, hey, this kind of sucks. Like, they turned me into this androgynous freak. You think they'd rebel against it, but they don't seem to be doing that.
They're locked in. They're locked in. It's like a contract. What were you going to say, John the Beggar?
Anytime you have a parent or someone acting as a parent that has no biological stake in the child, they don't really care as much. I mean, you can be a good, caring teacher and anything else, but when you bring another character into the home, this is oftentimes when you get a child killed or other things. We had one recently around where I lived. This woman broke up with her boyfriend who they had the kid by, and she moved in with another guy, and then the kid is at home dead all of a sudden. So this, you know, people do not have a biological stake in a child. They really don't have any business in that home raising that child.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it goes deep and it's disturbing. People don't even want to know what's really going on because it's so horrible. And meanwhile, everyone loves going to Taylor Swift concerts, and you know, and they're all happy. Like, that's a happy moment for people. And then you tell them what's really going on, and it's horrible. They don't want they want the happy moment, the happy story, you know. So anyway,
it's like when they vote for politicians because they have a big smile. When Obama first came on the scene for president, I'd known him from his Senate run, had heard of him in the House in Illinois, and I thought, oh, God, what would anyone want this? And they said to me, oh, he's got a big smile on his face. And I thought, what the hell does that mean? You know, it doesn't mean anything. People value the wrong things.
All right, let's keep playing this video here.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Oh my God.
There it is.
Top of a primordial ecosystem. A god, for all intents and purposes. She's a woman and a man. Monster.
I had that girly girl hidden within me. After being such a tomboy and experiencing that my whole life, it was like, oh, I can curl my hair, I can put on the mascara.
The art of alchemy brings a wondrous transformation.
Two things at once.
It's not an illusion because it is what you see. I mean, I'm not portraying a character as much as I am a character.
And actors are neither men nor women.
Yeah, this is a great quote.
Actors belong to a third sex.
We stand between the sun and the moon, masculine and feminine. Bodies join into one.
Two things at once, please.
I'm Steve Merrick, youngest CEO in pharma. Our work here is all about balance.
It was about the balancing forces of the universe.
Nature has an order, a power to restore balance.
That's Godzilla.
Balance.
Pretty, isn't it?
This is the Avengers.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
I believe he's here to restore balance.
The Philosopher's Stone.
You can't just focus on the female and you can't just focus on the male. There is a beautiful balance of having the two turn into one.
The combination of
what could she be actually talking about? Is what it be? No, I know, but what was she?
The context of that was, I think the supporters of the Turning Point members were men and women. Something.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay, that's because it seemed.
Yeah. So anyone can go look at the original clip, and that was Erica Kirk was doing the Charlie Kirk book promotion.
Oh, okay.
Because Charlie Kirk is writing books now.
The mystical marriage of the lunar feminine and the solar masculine. This is the foundation of the mystery we pursue.
Light cannot exist without darkness. Each has its purpose.
Dexter.
Ah.
Avenging Angel.
If there's a purpose to my darkness, maybe it's to bring some balance.
Oh, they're always using the word balance.
And that's Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Promoting the jab.
Oh, is that what that was? Whoa.
Yeah, like a COVID and a flu shot in the same shot.
Oh, right.
Deadly
years
double.
ago.
Deadly
Yeah,
double.
that's Taylor Swift's boyfriend promoting the jab. Fiance, I think now, who's like 6'5", and Taylor Swift's 5'11", or possibly 6 feet. So and Charlie Kirk also 6'5", right? So you get these the
Giants.
transvestites standing next to a 6'5" guy. The transvestite looks like a normal sized woman.
Right. So they pair him up with someone really big.
Yeah.
So you can't. It's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
in proportion. So they look
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
Just
And
like the Tom Cruise with his
Nicole
husband was way off though. It was way
standing
off
next
the other
to
way.
Nicole Kidman is 6 feet tall.
Right. That was quite the anomaly to normally how they.
And
how they
even
call
like
it.
normal people are saying Nicole Kidman looks like a total freak now.
All right.
So
Is she a man?
yeah, there are tall girls, but they're very rare. I've met 2 women in my entire life who have been 6 feet tall.
Hmm.
They do
And
exist.
you're Scandinavian, and that's they're
Yeah.
or maybe the Dutch.
And they were both from the Netherlands, by the way.
Right. Yeah, I was
Both
going
of
to
them.
just say that. Yeah, the Netherlands has quite the tall.
So that's not. I mean, yeah, the exception proves the rule. Yeah, they do exist. I'm not saying any woman who's 6 feet tall is a man. That's not the
Right.
argument here. It's
No.
saying these specific people are men, and that's one of the data points, not the only one.
That is right.
Did
It's
you
all.
think Nicole Kidman was a man?
Of course,
Or
Yes.
is? Okay.
Yes.
still is a man.
Yes. He's done many a video on
The
Nicole.
bone structure. Look at Nicole Kidman and just look at the bone structures. I mean, that's yeah. Anyway, let's. What about Charlie Kirk? I got some requests on Patreon to talk about Charlie Kirk.
Go
Just
for it.
like, I mean, because you've probably talked about it a lot in your show.
Yeah.
I watch your shows.
I appreciate that.
And so what? Why? First of all, why? Why did I mean, for me, I think it's to create a false martyr.
Yes.
He's a false, because a martyr is a very motivational, powerful and motivational
Yeah.
and unifying figure to have on your
More
on your
power
team.
in death than in life.
Absolutely. That's the main
Okay.
thing. You need.
Okay.
There's way more power. Elvis was way more powerful when he was dead.
Elvis.
If you think
That's
about
true.
it.
Jimi
His-
Hendrix, Kurt
Way-
Cobain,
Right. Way more
Prince.
powerful. Prince.
Wow.
Right.
Interesting.
Wait.
And they keep on putting out albums forever.
And this is a death cult.
So that's interesting, because like they all put out albums after they die,
Mhm.
and then Charlie Kirk is even putting out books now
Mhm.
after he supposedly died.
Writing from the
There'll be
grave.
more.
Wish
There'll
you
be
were
more
there.
books. More books. Yeah.
Right, because he buried all these diaries and journals in his mattress, and we're just digging them out now.
Oh yeah. The journals of Charlie Kirk will come
Right.
out. The secret, the lost writings of Charlie Kirk. So he's a martyr that will last forever. For
Sure.
a long
Diary of
time.
Anne Frank.
He's for who? Who is he a martyr for? Is this Christian nationalism? What's the MAGA? It's the MAGA martyr.
Well,
What's
I didn't
going on?
follow him before, but I think he promoted traditional values, woman, trad
But he was a
wife.
MAGA guy, though. Really, he promoted Trump, I think.
Well, maybe because I never really followed him.
He was supported by Trump's son, like originally when he first
Right.
started.
Allegedly his son.
Yeah, his daughter probably.
Yeah, exactly.
The sons are all married to like dudes as well, by the way. So that's the whole thing with Trump. It's like Trump is promoting, traditional Christian family
Yeah,
values.
Brian is in
but
the
they're all
chat.
married to transvestites. So it's
Brian,
like-
you're in the chat. You're obsessed with Clip Prick. I know that's a very funny thing you said, but it's.
But that's not the only thing I'm
That's
interested
not what
in.
we said.
And
That's
there's
not
a
what
lot
we
of psyops. There's a major psyop going on now in Minnesota. Charlie Kirk is a major
Exactly.
psyop. And there's, I think Erica Kirk said, when I was a child, everyone thought I was a little boy.
Right.
So,
That's what we're really talking
So
about.
there's the androgyny aspect is there, because they're all in some kind of weird cult.
Yes.
What do you think about? Yeah. So Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I mean, it's really captured, and those were my biggest videos I had last year.
Of course. It was the biggest story for at least a month. And it wouldn't be a big story if he was just there trying to argue with students on a campus about the way men and women should behave going forward. But when they have this dramatic shot of his neck blowing out, that brings the story to everybody, including me, because
I didn't know who he was either before
and
that.
I didn't either, and I actually didn't even care to look him up.
Now
But
everyone knows who he is.
Yeah, he had because everyone will focus on it, and I do think they worship death, so they're always promoting death. Never do we hear a big story about someone being born. It's always about someone getting killed. Every day, someone is dying. Just driving around
That's
here.
why they support abortion.
Right. The flags are at half mast all the time. So we're always in mourning. It's the United States in mourning.
Keep us down psychologically. That's why
Oh,
we call it
yeah.
psyops, right? And yeah, the psyops is more powerful than a military force. And
oh, for sure. Hearts and
the
minds.
chaos. Like even in Minneapolis now, they're causing chaos which extends beyond Minnesota. Right? The chaos in our minds, it spreads. You know,
Chaos
like everyone
is international. And you talk
everyone
about
is feeling this
propaganda.
chaos. Yeah, everyone feels this chaos now, and they're using the word chaos in the scripted media.
And they can create it anywhere in the world because it will go anywhere in the world
And
at
that
the
might
same
be the
time.
agenda. I mean, because now people are going to say, "Oh, it's going to be civil war and all this stuff." Well, that's like a physical manifestation of the chaos. It may just be chaos. Chaos itself could be the end game. I don't know.
I think there is a war in people's minds between I believe between nationalism and communism. I think that's been a predominant war. So there are people lined up on both sides, and it's about 50-50. So it's a constant battle. I think that's one of the underlying themes that's going on all the time. That's just one of them, but there are many. But that to me is a big one. So the British that control the world, they're the communists. They don't want any country rising up. So if anyone is moving a certain direction in a nationalistic form, the British will move in with their psyops and disrupt it. They'll create a chaotic scene. Because look, if the kitchen is on fire, you can't cook. You can't make stuff. So they light fires in the kitchen every single day. So if Trump is moving towards, if he is on our side, which I'm not saying he is, but say he was, then they need to drop a bomb in the kitchen so he can't keep cooking up whatever he's trying to cook. Because then he has to spend his whole day putting out the fire. So now we're going to put out this fire in Minnesota that was lit. And it's got to be on a calendar too, because they literally space these things out. They don't do them at Christmas time, as you noticed. Nothing was happening for 2 weeks, which means they go on vacation too.
Yeah, they do.
You think criminals go on vacation? Does ICE go on vacation? You know, come on. So these stage shows go on vacation.
Yeah, and it was already this year, the first week of this year, Venezuela, and then
it's been very busy.
Yeah. And
now they're talking about taking Greenland. That's a new thing they're starting to put out.
Yeah, but that was last year's story.
But they're thinking about doing it again.
They might actually do it.
Well, because it's Fortress America. They want to merge all the countries. We've said that. And then Canada comes into play because I still think we're aligned with Britain. So we're more of the communist model. And I don't think so. Actually, Canadians should be more embracing of the concept, but they're worried that we'll become Americans. But I don't think the British would let that happen. So that all has to come together. So it'll be Fortress North America, and Greenland is part of North America.
Definitely, when they say Columbus,
but it's a minor. It's a minor pimple in the whole situation, though. Canada's more important, I would say, for our water
from a
and
resource
standpoint. Exactly. So, and Minnesota is more in common with Canada because it's freezing cold most of the year, and they're extremely left wing and liberal. They're exactly the same as Canadians.
I think we should trade. Like we can give Minnesota to Canada,
and
then
what do you want in return?
We take Greenland, and then Denmark needs to get something. It's like a three-way trade.
Yeah, maybe, but I still think there's going to be one Great Lake mega region anyway. Was what I said. I think that's
the Great Lakes watershed.
Well, it's the Great Lakes mega region. There's 75 million people in and around the Great Lakes, from Minnesota all the way to I'm gonna say Ottawa to the east. You can go look it up, America 2050. They just want to disrupt the whole area, so they get rid of
Well, the whole
boundaries.
St. Lawrence Seaway.
That's right, and they want free movement of labor, which is very important. They already have free movement of everything else except labor. It's hard to move people around because they belong to different people, and the local people don't want to be supplanted by someone else to do a job. They don't want that. So that's where they're going to bring in this digital ID that is universal around the world, so you can just float anywhere you need it or want to go. And that facilitates universal taxation and universal currency and all that kind of stuff.
Be like in North America.
Mentioned in the book of Revelation.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah.
So it'll be like North America will be like the EU, or will it be one country or one? It'll be like
No, it'll
North
be
American
mega. It'll
region.
be mega regions and mega cities. So each city will have their own government, because that makes sense. Because the city of Toronto, a region, is 10 million people. That's a city, and
And there'd
everything.
be-
Yeah,
Oh, go
everything
ahead.
around Toronto is a region, so it'll be part of the.
Yeah.
It could be just part of. They would have a regional governor who is controlling all the rural areas, say, in the Great Lakes, or maybe they divide the Great Lakes into 2 or 3 regions, but each has a mega city. Detroit would be a mega city. Chicago would be. Toronto would be. Montreal would be. Cleveland, I don't think is big enough, but that kind of thing. Cleveland would probably be a small city. So I'm just going out loud here.
And there need to be an emergency maybe to set that up.
Well,
A state of emergency. Even Minnesota's in a state of emergency right now.
They're always in a state of emergency. So yeah, the drugs that come from Canada, that crazy story, whether I think it's silly, but people believe it anyway. So that's the emergency right there.
Yeah, drugs.
All right.
Wow.
So, but yeah, I don't know what more we can say about the Charlie Kirk. I think it was totally fake. The video is extremely fake. You did really good work showing
What
how
about this?
ridiculous it was.
Everyone's saying now there was like a projector. Have you seen that theory?
No.
I wasn't really convinced by it. There was like this, they say it was a hologram.
Yeah.
Of Charlie Kirk.
Well, there
I
was
don't
a
know.
lot
That
of
goes a
video.
little too far for me. I don't know.
No, we don't need holograms. Hollywood
Yeah.
doesn't use holograms. Holograms
Yeah.
indicate projecting an image onto into the ether, but there has to be some kind of smoke to reflect the image back. We don't need that. We have Hollywood effects. I think it's more
Yeah.
misdirection from this whole scene was filmed in advance in a studio, or it could have been the day before in a controlled setting. And there probably was an event that day. I think we talked about this.
Maybe,
But
yeah.
nobody could get near it except the actors that were in place. So there was some bang bang noises, and the guy hit the dirt, and then they dragged him out the back in a limo. And that was the end of it. So there was
Yeah.
nothing to see. You would never, even if you were there, I don't think you would have seen anything, because it was probably filmed in a studio, the stuff they cut to and released as
Yeah,
video.
either way, it's special effects,
Yeah, special effects.
regardless of, there's many different ways to produce that effect.
Yeah,
In a
that's what I
movie
think.
or on this kind of stage. It was
Yeah.
on a stage. Yeah. So it's a fake event, and the reason is to create a martyr who, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, Kate
That
Emma
is a
said
good point.
megalopolis, it's part of Agenda 2030. Yeah, because they're gonna have human settlement zones and then natural zones. Natural zones means no human people at all. No hunters, no gatherers, no natives. There are no go zones.
It's kind of like the Brave New World.
Stack and pack apartments in big cities.
That's right.
And use that wood building technique. I don't know if you've seen it. They use a cement and some steel for like the cross frames, and then they have the floors done with wood. They can do it so much cheaper.
I don't know about that. I watch condos
I've heard
go.
about that stuff.
Well, not where I live. I watch condos go up all the time, and I know what is being done. It's just steel and concrete, so there's no
That's
wood.
better than steel and wood.
Well, I don't think
Steel, concrete,
I don't
wood.
see any wood trucks with the construction places I go. It's all steel and concrete, and they go up pretty fast. But yeah, it's stack and pack. You know, people don't know what's happening in their own neighborhood, including where I live. They're wondering, why are we turning this plaza into an 85-story building with no
Well, it's
parking?
like in China. That's how people live.
That's right. That's how they live. They live
They have
vertically.
lots of big cities there.
Tokyo.
All over. Tokyo's like, yeah, I mean, Tokyo is like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what they have here, because it just condenses where humans are, because the royalty that runs the world, they think that humans are a blight on the land and they want them off. So then all they're going to do is withdraw the services from those areas. So if you need to go to the hospital, there won't be a hospital in the middle of Minnesota. You'll have to drive to the city if you still live out there. All the services will be in the city. So you
Yeah.
can't get any service anyway. They're not going to service power, gas, whatever. You'll have to be very independent if they let you live there at all. Yeah, and Tunak said they built over the Charlie Kirk site the next day. That's not how you do an investigation, but that's how
Destroy the
you,
evidence. Yeah.
right. That's what
Well, look
happened
at
at Ground Zero, 9/11.
And right now, Minneapolis as
All
well.
those trucks lined up. It takes you a month to get a dump truck and other stuff and pickup trucks.
Right.
Takes
Yeah.
months. and
They
have all of them
blow
lined
up the crime scene.
They're all ready to go. Yeah, and now there's no, you can't even investigate this lady in Minnesota because it's the ICE agents are going to investigate it.
It's federal. Yeah.
Federal. Yeah.
They'll take over the investigation.
We'll
That's right.
control the narrative, basically.
Yeah.
So no
Tunak
outsiders.
says
can
Somali
take a look.
soda.
Somali
I
soda.
honestly think as much as it's easy to scapegoat groups like the Jews and the Somalis, I think any immigrant group is usually used. For instance, I think the Irish were used and the Italians were used because they were at the bottom of the food chain. So they're the ones, and don't get me wrong, they're still going along with it, but I think they're not. I don't even know if they're getting the lion's share of that money. I think whoever funnels the money is taking probably a good
Oh
chunk.
yeah. Oh
They
yeah.
take half, right? They say, we'll funnel you the money and turn a blind eye. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
know you Somalis raise your own children, which we don't like in the West. But just say there's a daycare center and list all your children as the attendees. You'll get the money. We'll take half. And you can still raise your children at home like you do traditionally, and just keep the daycare center sign out front and have a couple people in there. And when you feel like going by for a community meeting, go by. But we know you're not running a daycare center per se, but it'll still look and sound and act like one. And we'll just it doesn't seem, because of the war between the feds and the states, I don't think the states have any problem taking federal fiat currency. They don't seem to have any problem because there seems to be more of a constant war between the feds and the states. So I think they're always at odds. So that's sort of an easy dialectic as well, don't you think? Where the federal government hates the states and the states hate the federal government.
Yeah, there's a dialectic there. And to boot, a really legitimate daycare center could pad its statistics too to get more money from the federal government. A truly legitimate one. In fact, I know a guy, his sister worked as an accountant for a chain that was here in the Michigan area. And she left because she said they had people in there that she knew were adults. They had her brother who had gone there, who was now adult, and they were still listing him as going there and getting money. And I know there was an indictment, and one officer of the corporation, I believe, went to prison.
Yeah. All right, John, I'm going to let you go because your line is buzzing. We're going to wrap it up. So I really appreciate you calling in.
Nice talking to you, fakeologist, and nice talking to you, Mr. E. Bye.
All right, you too.
Mr. E and John the Beggar. Yeah, there goes John the Beggar. Great caller, and he's got his own theme music. And yeah, he's in Detroit, down the St. Lawrence Seaway, as we like to call it here. Yeah, we're both on the same. I'm on Lake Ontario. That's part of the St. Lawrence Seaway, and he's down on the Detroit River there, which is part of the same water highway that they used back in the day when they allegedly discovered this area and took it from the natives.
And Minneapolis is north of both places.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely north. I'm way so we're at the 44th parallel where I live, and Minnesota goes right up to the 49th.
Yeah.
But yeah, Minnesota is on the very western end of the St. Lawrence Seaway at
Yeah. Lake
Duluth,
Superior.
Minnesota.
Duluth,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's part of the St. Lawrence Seaway. So yeah, so you guys are more Canadian than most of Canadians because you're in the cold, super cold
Oh,
area.
yeah. I mean, I spent a lot of time right, like, at the border, basically, of Canada,
Yeah.
going into Canada. My grandparents claimed to have seen a UFO in
Yeah, in
Canada,
Winnipeg. Yeah.
in Ontario.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Ontario is right north of, Minnesota.
I think one of your because they didn't do a perfect job of making the border, there is an area called Lake of the Woods
Oh, yeah.
in Ontario.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah, Minnesota sticks up there
Yeah,
for some reason.
it's actually in Minnesota. So there's a
So
Lake
there
of the Woods in
yeah.
Ontario, Lake of the Woods, Minnesota. But
There's a piece of land that,
it's landlocked.
it's in Minnesota in the US,
It's right here.
but you can't get there
By car.
by car.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. It's
it's
really bizarre.
it's
There must be
outside
some weird I
well,
think
it's
we need to, invade. I think there needs to be a war
well,
fought over
what
there.
has to happen is the people of this area it's right here. So the people in this area that's cut off by land from the United States, we need to oppress the people here, and then they need to call the army to come invade Canada here to repatriate these people and rescue them from the
You could
evil
start a
Canadian.
war with the United States and Canada on that based on that piece of land, because they have a lot of these ambiguous pieces of land all
Yeah.
over the world, and they sometimes use them to create tension now and then. There's
That's
like
right.
Russia and Japan have an island they always fight about, and, like, there's a lot of them in Asia, a lot of these islands that are a bit unclear
Yeah, they're in
who owns it.
dispute.
Yeah,
Well, that's
disputed
what
land it's useful, yeah.
well, I think when they divided up Prussia and Germany, they took away they isolated the Germans near in the Polish area.
And
So
we
when they were being oppressed, Hitler said, I got to take care of our Germans because these Polish people are beating on them. And the British says, "Yeah, go ahead." And as soon as he crossed over, they said, we didn't give you permission." So that started the war. So that's why I'm saying this could be a similar state, this Garden Island recreation area, which is part of the United States, but
Yeah.
it's only accessible by water.
It's a weird thing because they coulda just put the border on the shoreline on the south of that lake.
Yeah,
That
why
would
did
make a
they
lot
do
more
that?
sense, you know?
Yeah,
Bizarre.
there is a story behind it, but I can't remember what it was. And if you go farther
Yeah.
west to British Columbia, there's a similar place right here called Point Roberts. See that?
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
That one
Oh,
is
that's
in the United
interesting.
States too.
No way.
So it's
Wow.
cut off because they just drew a straight line right across.
That makes no sense at all.
Well, it does from the sense that it was a lot easier to draw a straight line. It comes right across the country, see? That's the
Yeah,
49th
but it's
parallel. It's perfectly straight. It doesn't deviate. It doesn't follow um, any natural features. There's no rivers or anything. It's just a straight line on the map, but it cut off Point Roberts. So these people here, the only way
Wow.
they can go to school, there's not enough people to have a school here, so they have to go by bus over the border twice. So into Canada and out of Canada in the United States. So they go to school over here.
And they have it like a checkpoint?
Well, it's a border crossing. It's an
No.
international border crossing.
That's so bizarre. That
Now,
makes no sense at all.
when I went to Vancouver, I went there. I went down here, but I found it funny that there's a road right on the border. So you can drive right to here. This is in Canada. And you can drive right up to there, and there's no border guard here. There's not even a fence. If you go here, like I did, there's the border. That yellow
You can
New
just walk
Jersey
right
area.
across it.
Yeah. You could
That's so bizarre.
So there's no fence. Now I'm sure they put tons of cameras up now, but here is the phallic symbol that
You got a
indicates the
mark.
border.
Yeah, interesting. Obelisk.
There's more obelisks on this border than anywhere in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so bizarre. There must be some strange history behind this.
Well, the obelisk?
Well, the whole this little piece of land there.
Well, it was not, they didn't think about it. And then when they did think about it, they just, well, okay, well, it's part of the US. So that's the only other one I know. I think there might be one on the east side, but the two countries generally are the same. So it does make sort of sense that they integrate anyway. And Canadians are kind of funny because they hate American. They say they don't like Americans, but everything here is American. Every store.
Oh, really?
All Canadian stores have been supplanted by the international Amazon and Costco and Walmart and what else is there?
Hmm.
But anyway, here's your Minnesota here. It's quite far north compared to the rest of this area where I am over here, which is south. But anyway, so there's your North America right there. So this is the North American Union. There's Greenland over there. And I think they're going to integrate Mexico as well because they're starting their digital ID as well. So it'll just make it a lot easier to move around and to this union. And personally, I'm not really against it one way or the other. I think it's inevitable. But
yeah, they're just going to use, narratives and psyops to kind of justify whatever their plan is.
So there you go, Mr. E. I really appreciate you coming on tonight. And it's getting late here. I know it's early in the day over there on the other side. But yeah, you really fooled me with your video. I thought you really did come back. So you got me. So that was fun.
It was just satire. Yeah. I just a lot of those clips people sent me stuff.
What are your finale
I'm maybe sometimes I just step back and see the humor of all of it too. I think there is a certain humor in the fact that we really don't know what's going on most of the time, and there's all these psyops. There's a certain element of humor when everyone else is all riled up and panicked and angry.
Yeah,
it's like take a step back, find the humor in the situation. It's kind of tragic and humorous at the same time.
I think it's only kind of tragic that people are fooled by it, but we can see the humor in the little inside jokes they put in these stories with the numerology and the funny names. How can you not be sympathetic about someone named Good being shot? Can we see that? And she's such a sympathetic person that we need to feel bad about because she's a lesbian and she apparently was married to a comedian and then
a lesbian with children, a lesbian mother.
Right. Well, she was apparently married to a comedian. It was when we were looking through the story.
But I think it was married to a woman actually married.
Right. She's married to a woman because you can do that in Minnesota. But she originally, it said, was married to a man, a comedian. That was the original story that I think I saw. But because I'm an auto hoaxer and maybe you're going to be one day as well, I don't really worry. I don't worry about it. I don't worry about the details. I don't think it's not going to hurt my life. And I just think that we need not to worry. But the problem is we know that everyone around us is going nuts about it.
Well, that's the thing. They little psyop, and then it just spreads like wildfire in the minds of regular people, and it just takes on a life of its own, which is it must be predictable, right? They have this down to a science. They understand how to manipulate and control people. They just do this little event with the car and the lady, and then everything else and then they feel the fire with in the mass media. And that's how I really spot it. I can spot it's similar to George Floyd and all this stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Like, where is this going to lead? And I think other protests are igniting across the country, and who knows?
I wanted to ask you about this video before I forget. This was really good. This is a different video that you did.
I just did this the other day. Well, I'm like
This was great. I liked it a lot.
analog. It's like I could have just used a map on the computer screen.
Yeah,
But
this
I
was
have
great.
this. Like I printed this out a long time ago, this map, and I thought, hey, I'll just because it's like half the videos these days are like AI. Right?
Yeah, they
So I'm
are, and I
thinking,
get
like,
fooled by it too.
I want to go back old school. Like, let's keep it analog in a digital world, and to a certain degree, like making a video like that is kind of old school and kind of interesting. It's just different ways to do it. I kind of, if I see a video of somebody like writing on a piece of paper, it's almost kind of a novel idea. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, you can do that. You can write stuff on a piece of paper. That's crazy. So it's just kind of a reaction to the there's too much AI, and every video on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is full of celebrities now, like, because they don't make movies anymore, right? So
Right.
like YouTube is just like TV used to be or something. And
I spend a lot of time on YouTube, but
everyone's so polished, and it's like everyone's so high tech and professional and polished, and so I'm
Yeah.
just some amateur guy. It's kind of just like I'm still very much an amateur when it comes to making a video.
No, I don't think so.
So I'm just kind of like,
I think
hey,
I think you're actually pretty polished.
Well, not really.
I
I
think
mean,
you got a pretty good
I don't
shit.
even have good cameras, really.
Well, they're
I
good
have to-
enough.
Good enough, yeah. But it's like I'm not. A lot of people make good quality videos, and
No,
so
you're
that
making
that's kind of the
great.
humor. And this is kind of humorous as well. But it's just funny. Like, we don't even know like the Earth. Like, what is the Earth? There's so many things they're lying to us about the Earth itself. So it's like, how can you take anything too seriously?
And I like your map where you're showing how America was America discovered by Verspigo Americus or something?
Not really.
No. But he was named after
Vespucci.
him though.
Yeah, apparently, according to the official story, he
Yeah.
didn't really discover anything. He was just kind of involved in the event somehow. He kind of hijacked the name. It should have been called Columbia or something.
Oh, is that
like
right?
the District of Columbia, right? That's
Yeah.
Columbus, but really Columbia is a goddess. So
Right.
you got the District of Columbia between Mary Land and Virgin Land, Virgin
Yeah,
Mary,
Virginia, yeah.
Columbia. And but
In
anyway,
Rome.
on this map, the colonization or the journey of these people going to Brazil makes a lot more sense. And there's some
Yes.
islands off the coast of Africa there. I forget the name of them.
Right.
Which
So they bounced around here. They're going down the coast from these royal empires: England, Spain, Portugal, Norway.
because otherwise they don't know, they get lost out there in the open
Yeah,
sea.
you
right?
gotta walk. You go along the coast so you can see the coast.
And then they just pop over there and look at where they landed, right there on the point there, and
Right
it's
there,
really
yeah.
not that far.
No.
And they kept using that route the whole time, and then
And
they
the
just
thing
kind
is,
of
it's
go up.
also warm. It's warm. Because if you travel up here in the
Yeah.
winter,
Oh, it's cold. Yeah.
it's miserable.
That's where only the Vikings, and it's not far at all. Look at Iceland, Norway, Iceland, Greenland, and then what's
Yeah,
that
they
place up there? Newfoundland, right?
They would have definitely had to go to Greenland first because it's right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Eric the Red apparently, I think, founded Greenland in 1080.
And they would have come
something.
straight down
Leif
here.
Erikson. Yeah, the Viking. They know their history. The Vikings. I don't know it as well as the actual Norwegian person would, but.
And they would have kept coming south, and they would have hit Newfoundland.
And then you just go through the St. Lawrence Seaway.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
And and they would proceed inland.
Waterway. Go through the water. You can get to Duluth through the water from the East Coast.
That's right.
And that's what they did. When I was growing up, they did tell us that I learned that the Vikings settled in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Now I think it's debated actually. So, but apparently someone found some archaeological evidence of that.
Found some bones.
It's debated, like anything.
Sounds like
so.
And then
as opposed to Columbus, who never set foot on North America.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just like take a step back, look at the and here we are now, and Venezuela, all this stuff. So all kinds of stuff going on, and people get riled up, but it's all planned in advance. They didn't land helicopters and take this guy out of Venezuela.
And now they're doing Iran. By the way, that's tonight's story.
Oh, really?
Well, I have an Iranian friend I talk to every day, and he said there's enough people begging for the U.S.
Oh,
and
that's right. They're in chaos there too. There's a lot
their
of chaos.
proxy Israel to come down and save them. They
Well,
want
see,
the U.S. and Israel to take them away from their.
so they could do a World War III narrative. There could be some kind of alien narrative, more or less. Although I don't know if they'll ever
I don't
really
think so.
disclose it. I don't think they'll officially. They just keep us on the edge of. They tease us about it, But World War III narrative type thing. Why not?
They keep saying it, but I don't see it. But anyway, so you did this pretty good video about
There's Americo.
There's Amerigo Vespucci. Yeah.
It's,
Italian, I guess.
it's just fun, the history, like how do we know what really happened and what didn't happen? And I mean,
No.
it's just a strange situation we're in, and there's, I don't know, there's just so much where there's almost too much, there's too much video content really on YouTube. Like there's so much content out there, so much information, but how much of it is true, or, it's a funny situation we're in now.
I think it's a great situation. I think it's fun.
Oh, this show, we didn't talk about that one. Landman. So this guy, this is called this is about an oil guy. Stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
must
this
have
is
missed this one.
it's another Tyler Sheridan show, by the way. Same guy who did Yellowstone.
Okay.
Which is extremely Masonic, like #1 show, right? This guy who makes these shows, he's like the highest paid dude making these shows.
Why have I never heard of him? I guess I'm out
This
of
is
it.
Landman, and so the guy on the ground is the oil company executive, and these other guys are in the drug cartel.
Mhm.
So it's the oil company versus drug cartel, right? Which is kind of
Okay.
fits into the Venezuelan, and this probably
Yeah.
came out a couple of years ago, I guess. So there's and it's very deeply into the oil industry itself. Like it goes deep into the oil industry to a certain degree, at least. So you'll actually learn something about the oil industry, and then so it's like oil industry, drug cartels in Texas.
Yeah.
But it kind of relates to Venezuela somehow. And they even say in the news, some newscaster said, yeah, Landman actually helped me understand this Venezuela situation. So it's concurrent
And
programming.
that's concurrent program. So that's going on now, this show?
Yeah. They just released a new season. This
Oh.
is season 1, and then season 2. If you keep going on that video you're looking at, I think I
Yeah.
put a screenshot of the newscaster who
Oh, there's your cowgirl.
there's the cowgirl. That's one of the actresses that they're like a lot of androgynes in the show.
Oh, wow.
Who are like half naked most of the time.
Really?
It's a pretty outrageous show, actually. Yeah. And this one was in a couple Taylor Sheridan TV shows. Oh no.
Yeah, that's definitely an orchestrated, controlled
Yeah.
demolition of the idea. They're gonna take that idea because they've heavily promoted with Candace Owens.
Yeah.
And she's part of the pantomime to bring that idea to some kind of criminal hate speech.
Yeah.
'Cause she's pushed it so hard.
Okay.
You're not like that. You just are speculating, but Candace is almost angry about it and makes it a conflict. You're not making a conflict, you're making it a revelation, you're pointing it out.
And Candace focused on that one person and then showed childhood photos.
Yes.
Or, claimed to have found the true identity when it used to be a man. And Candace said, if you look at childhood photos, you can tell if it's a boy or a girl, which is not true because they're dressed up as girls from day one,
Yes.
So there's disinfo there, and I believe Candace is a man. So
Yes.
there's that.
And that's the best person to bring it forward, because it's almost as if it's okay for her to bring it forward because she is that way.
Yeah, so they're just
you can't make fun of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you can make fun of Minnesotans because you're from Minnesota, right?
That's true. Yeah, I can.
So I
That's a
think
good
an
point, yeah.
androgyne can make fun of androgynes because they are one.
Yeah, and for them, it's probably beyond just we're trannies. It's their whole religion, their whole way of life, their whole worldview and they just probably see someone like me as someone who's doing religious persecution or something, and so they use it as a because like Christians, right? Christians are always being persecuted, or even Muslims or whoever. Any religion will be persecuted, and then what that usually just rallies the troops. They don't say, hey, let's listen to their arguments and listen to what they have to say, and maybe they're onto something. You say, no, these people are against us, they're bad, we're good. So that's what the androgynes are thinking. Probably they're not listening to me thinking, hey, he has some good points, maybe we're all just a bunch of trannies, and they're thinking this guy doesn't understand our philosophy and worldview, and we are the master race.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Well, I like this was a very good show tonight. I like all your work that you're doing here. This is really interesting stuff. Oh, that's what I want to say. I liked how you let the cat out at the end. That was funny. That was
well, the cat. I think the cats don't like it when because they like a good, nice, quiet place to sleep, and then here I am making a video talking, and then they get annoyed.
Oh, you were in the cat room?
Well, it's my room. This is my studio room, my office, and the cats also sleep here in the daytime.
Oh, okay.
So they do sleep in this room in the daytime, but when I start making videos with the cats,
they don't like it.
Now they can't sleep as well because I'm making noise, so they leave. But it's a little prop in the background, something for people to look at.
Oh, it's good.
Get the attention off of me.
Smarty Pants Dumb Shit asks Mr. E's channel. Yeah, Mr. E's on YouTube. You just type Mr. Space E. Space.
No space. MRETV.
MRETV.
No space. Maybe I wonder if people see that like they don't know how to say it. Maybe I don't know, but
no, yeah.
Who knows, right? I don't never know what to call the channel. Really.
No, that's fine. Mr.
That's what
E
it is
TV.
now.
On BitChute, it's Apocalypse Watchman.
No.
Oh no! It actually no. Sorry, it's Mr.
I changed it all to Mystery. Originally on YouTube, you couldn't change the name of the channel.
Canadians,
Okay,
did you know that
you're
you
right.
can convert
On
some
BitChute, it's
or
Mr.
all of your
ETV as well.
It's
RRSP
and
into
Odyssey
physical
as
gold
well.
and silver?
Okay.
And you're eligible for the same
another
tax
ad.
benefits associated with your RRSP
Full of ads
account.
because this is on
That's right.
Chrome.
No
and
capital
Chrome
gains
doesn't
tax.
block these things. If it was
If
on
you haven't done the
Brave,
math yet, I
Brave
hate
would
to
block
tell
it.
you,
But the
but you
problem
are
with
losing
Brave
value
is
in
it
your
blocks
RRSP
my
as we speak.
Restream
Go
studio.
do the
So I
math
used
for
to use
yourself.
Restream on
We've had
Brave,
people walk into our
but
store
then Brave
reporting
was
to have lost
buggering
anywhere
up
from 30 to
Restream.
50% so far.
I got a million
Are
different
you aware
browsers
that for
open.
the
That's
first time in
there,
history,
so.
real estate, stocks,
Otherwise,
and
that
bonds
would
are
be
all
bad.
going down?
That woman is annoying.
She's annoying. So get rid of her. All right, so everyone's got Mr. E. Make sure you support him. Make sure you go to his Patreon and shoot him a couple bucks. Mr. Boris Negarosa, thank you for your $2 donation. Okay, it's more than everyone else here, so I really appreciate that. And Mr. E, I really appreciate your time, and hopefully you can come back again. Everyone loves Mr. E. They like your work. I enjoy it a lot. I still get flack about bringing up the androgyny topic to people, but that's okay.
I mean, it's so obvious. I mean, I don't know why people have such a problem with it.
I think it's the ultimate deception. It fits the fakeologist characteristics perfectly. It really does. It totally aligns with it. And the best part about it is most people have no idea they're being fooled, just like all the other psyops.
Just look at what's the name of that tennis player? Serena Williams, is that it?
Yeah.
Just
The
anyone
linebacker.
out there who questions it, just look at Serena Williams photos.
Right.
I guess, people don't like to admit they've been deceived. I guess that's what it is.
Well, I was just watching Joe Rogan, and I think you've talked about Joe Rogan before being a loaded up female. Have you ever?
Well, it has some characteristics of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fanny pack and being extremely short and baldness. I mean, some guys go bald, right? I mean, I'm kind of going bald myself, but
me too.
When people go bald at a young age,
that's
younger than normal, because that's from the testosterone injections. And
and it's funny because I'm binge watching. Well, I'll bring this up to you now because it's kind of funny. I guess for some reason YouTube presented me David Lee Roth's audio.
Yeah. That is hilarious. Have you seen David Lee Roth on tour lately? That's hilarious.
I did. That's what I watched.
Oh man, that's
okay. So
gold.
then it served me up a interview with Joe Rogan,
Oh yeah,
Joe Rogan. And
Yeah.
so I watched that. Now I'm
Cool.
Sammy Hagar. I like Van Hagar more than
Okay.
Van
Wow.
Halen, but that's okay. I like
Yeah.
both. I actually like both of them, but I just
Yeah, yeah. They
I
both
like
have the
the
merits. Sammy Hagar could write a good song, you know.
yeah, I figured I'd bring this up with you because you're a musician, so you know you're my
He's
age.
got a good voice, actually. Sammy Hagar could sing, you know.
I just like
Much better vocalist than David Lee Roth had an attitude and a charisma,
yes.
and he could move, you know.
Yes.
Sammy Hagar had a really good voice.
Really good voice.
Yeah.
And he wrote what I thought my favorite album, and it may have just have been because it's when I was really listening to rock and roll back in the day, which was the 5150 album. That was my favorite Van Hagar album of all times, for sure.
Okay. Was that
So
their first one? Was that the first
I
Van
think
Hagar
so.
album?
I
think
think
it
it was
was.
the first Van Hagar. But anyway, so I started watching David Lee Roth being interviewed by Joe Rogan. And it's a good format, 3 hours, because there's no commercials. It's actually a good way
Oh,
to
David Lee Roth and Joe Rogan?
Okay, yeah, because he was on a year ago.
A year ago. Okay.
And then
I saw that. Yeah, yeah. I saw parts of that, little clips a year
and
ago.
David Lee Roth is a very intelligent, smart guy.
He's a Jew.
He's a Jew, Russian Jew, but he's very smart and he's a very good interview. Very
Yeah,
entertaining.
he's an
got
eclectic
stories.
character. Yeah, he's a interesting dude.
If you're a podcast fan like I am, because I drive a lot, and so I have a lot of I pay attention. It's very good. So then I found another one with Joe Rogan that was when he was 6 years ago. That one was good too. It was very repetitive between 6 years, but he was 6 years younger. And then I found another one when he was 58, my age, and that would have been 12 years ago. So he's on at least 3 times that I found. All of them are very entertaining.
Huh.
But they were talking about back in the interview from 2019 about female or men competing in mixed martial arts, which I guess is Joe Rogan's specialty.
Yeah.
And having the males pretend to be females and go beat the hell out of the female mixed martial artists.
Oh, wow.
And that was a good discussion because Joe Rogan is absolutely against that. Because he said these are obviously they're too powerful. And he was talking about bone structure. He was talking about the hands, all the things you like to talk about.
Oh, wow.
And he said they cannot, and you can't change bone structure. And these guys are so big that they will just kill these women because that's what they're for. That's what men are designed physically for: hunting, gathering, and killing. And when they're in the ring with a woman, it's just ridiculous. So I just thought that was interesting listening to that conversation because there's this suspicion that we have that maybe Joe Rogan is actually a female that's roided up.
And well, probably most of those MMA women are also men.
That's right. Well, that could be the irony of the conversation. So if you want to go listen to that, it's actually pretty good. And then it ends up David Lee Roth is sort of interviewing Joe Rogan, and he went on for at least half an hour on the topic. I don't care about MMA, but it was interesting, the topic discussing men pretending to be women and competing.
Yeah, they do kind of reveal stuff. Like Billy Corgan has a podcast now. He just revealed all kinds of weird stuff. I might even make a video on it.
Oh, good. Yeah.
He said like the government tried to recruit him to be an agent. And he says all this weird stuff.
Like Kate Emma, Joe Rogan with T-Rex arms and sloping shoulders, got a wide area around the hips as well. Yeah. And the way he walks, I think you've done something on him.
Yeah. The fanny pack is like a symbol.
Yeah.
Like the tranny pack. I mean, but then when you watch him though, you're like, he seems quite masculine, right?
Very masculine.
Yeah. But yet, so it's so hard to believe for the regular person. It's almost impossible for the regular person to believe.
It is hard.
It's crazy.
For me as a researcher, it's hard. And then because I played at the beginning of the show, Ohio, or My City Is Gone by the Pretenders, I started watching some Chrissy Hine videos.
Yeah.
I think you have
pretty low voice, deep voice.
You're transmissions, but she is, I think it's aging like a woman. just
Oh,
looking
you
at.
do?
Well,
Pussy Hide. I
because
never
now
did a
there are
deep dive.
she's still performing, so
Yeah.
these people are still out there for examination. Is my point. So I'm on the fence on that one.
Yeah.
Just like we
Yeah.
all are. I think
I'd have to look.
you're not you're not an absolutist. You're just pointing
Yeah.
out
Well,
problems.
you got to look at each person, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
because you know, I mean, and it's you know, it's better for me to err on the side of caution, even though people don't want me to do that. But it's better, you know. I mean, because I'm not just trying to please, you know, my subscribers. I have to think about
Yeah.
the people who disagree with me. What are
Yeah.
their arguments going to be? Right? There's always people trying to discredit me
Yeah.
or the arguments I'm making. So I have to think about the whole thing and try to maintain credibility just by looking at the objective facts. Really, is the best way to do that, I think.
Yeah.
And also
But
to
if you
put it in the context, the ancient context. This has been going on a long time, you know.
But if you want to watch a good video, a good interview, I would suggest just type in Joe Rogan and David Lee Roth because the guy
Well,
is extremely smart.
Well, it's
and
even better though. Watch them on stage now.
Oh, I watched that. It's super cringe,
It's
and
bizarre.
it's cringy. But if you want context of what he's trying to accomplish, at least he explains who he is, what he's about, and he doesn't sound like a bad person. So
Yeah, exactly. You know?
he's just out there a
Although,
little.
you know, I mean, you know,
Yeah, he's
he
milking
seemed,
it.
yeah. Some people say he was very androgynous looking in the 80s. Let's put
Right.
it that way. You know, the long hair, the flamboyant clothing.
Right.
But that was the MTV era. Everyone kind of was in the
Yeah.
80s. The Van Halen brothers, you know, lots of people say there could be FTM. They are
Right.
kind of fun. You know, Eddie Van Halen was kind of a strange looking dude. They were
Yes,
half
he was.
Indonesian, so
And
that may
Dutch,
be
right?
part of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dutch and Indonesian.
Yeah, that's an interesting hybrid. Yeah.
Extremely talented. You know, it's like you know, it's just like these are very
You
unique
can never.
people. Yeah.
You can't take away Eruption from.
Yeah, yeah. That
It's
was a
only.
game changer. That's a game
Yeah,
changer for
it's only.
guitarists.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't really get any better than that.
Yeah, I myself was like, I never tried to play like him because he was so like everyone tried to copy him after that, but I was more into the old school like Hendrix and that kind of stuff. But you know, like why should I just copy some guy? You know, so
Yeah.
that was never my favorite band necessarily, but they definitely were successful. And have
So
some
we
good
should
tunes.
we should go out with that. I think Eruption. Why not? It's a couple minutes.
Great tone, great guitar tone.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right,
Yeah,
Mr. E, thanks a lot for coming on. Unless you got something else to.
No, it's good, man.
This was a great show. I hope you. I know you promoted on your Patreon because I'm a Patreon. I got the email. So hopefully people will enjoy this interview. This is sort of the good way to do it with no real topic. It's just back and forth. We got you on the Minnesota. Totally topical today. We got the live report from your mother. That's great.
Oh yeah.
Let her know you were featured. And we'll definitely have you back. Hopefully you'll come back when something else is relevant, maybe in a month or so. I'm sure you'll do a couple videos in between. We can't even get through one of your videos without stopping. There's so much to discuss. So if you want to keep it going, we'll do that. Just talk about your videos.
All right.
All right, Mr. E.
All right.
Mr.
Thanks
E
a
at
lot.
fakeologist.com. Support Mr. E. And thanks, everyone. And don't forget to go to fakeologist.com/donate and help us out. This is the end of our week, and we'll see you again maybe Sunday. Take care, everybody. Here's Eddie Van Halen, Eruption. Rest in peace.